What's up? It's K.Honesty, and I'm about to review the Season 3 premiere of Power Ghost Book 2. So if you have not seen the Season 3 premiere of Power Ghost Book 2, turn this video off, go watch it, come back and watch this video. Anything I say is my opinion. It does not reflect anyone or anything associated with the show. These are my feelings, my expressions, my thoughts. I am not a public speaker, so I will be stuttering and pausing and looking to my notes that I take throughout the show over here to my right. Usually I have a big water bottle that I be drinking because my mouth be getting dry while I'm talking, but I am still a little under the weather. So I am not drinking no water right now. I don't even really got a taste for nothing. So I'm just going to be smoking this episode, this review. So last chance, if you have not seen the Season 3 premiere of Power Ghost Book 2, turn this video off because I'm about to spoil the entire episode. So I like to rate episodes before and after my videos. Well, should I say grade, because I give grades. Because a lot of people do ratings, I'm going to do grade. I'm going to grade this episode. I'm going to give it an A+, because it left us right back off where we was at in Season 2. And it put a lot of stuff together. Like, it just basically set us up for what we're going to see this season. And I was down with it, so I give it an A+. Okay. First scene. Apparently, Davis, the ring that Tariq got up off of Mecca. You know, he gave it to Davis last season. Told him, I'm trying to get this off. Whatever. Davis, apparently, he sent it to an auction. Where this woman, they don't tell who this woman is until a little later. Not too late, but a little later into the episode. But a woman is at the auction and she looking. And she sees that this guy he ends up bidding and winning the ring. So then we get to this guy. He proposing to his wife. To his fiance, to his girlfriend, whatever. She says yes. Then the woman that was at the auction, the black British woman, they don't say who she is yet. So I'm just saying. So I'm giving very little about who she is right now. But she was at the auction. She saw the guy who won the ring. He proposed to his girlfriend. She said yes. They pop up. She like, congratulations, but I need that ring. So the guy who won the ring, he like basically F off. I can't curse. He like F off. I can't curse. Because I think I could get fined or something like that. But he like basically F off. And she like, I'm only going to ask you one more time. He's still saying F off. So her henchman, grab him up and grab the girlfriend up. They pull the girlfriend arm out. And the British black woman, she cuts her hand off just to get the ring. And I guess to prove a point, then they kill both of them. So I was like, okay, they basically letting us know that whoever this woman is, she mean business. And this woman, even though they're just showing her, I feel like she came into play season 2 because it was an episode where Mecca was on the phone with somebody, and I always felt like Mecca was up to no good. Like, it might have seemed like he was only after Monet, but I felt like something else was in the background that we just didn't get to see come to light. But I feel like now we're getting to see. But anyway, so then we get the little scene with Tariq and Effie. They in Tariq's dorm room packing up his stuff because I guess he had to he getting kicked out of his dorm because of the trial, even though he was found not guilty. So Effie like, yeah, maybe we should slow down because I know I came to Stansfield so we could be together, this, that, and the third, but I don't want everybody going around thinking I'm just Tariq's girlfriend and doing all that. And Tariq was like, nah, we ain't about to do all that. Like, you mine, and like basically just telling her like, chill, pipe down on all that you talking about, basically. Then Braden's mother come in with Braden's sister. So apparently Braden's sister is going to Stansville now, and she taking the dorm that Braden had with Tariq. And she's like, I thought you would have been out of here. And Tariq was like, I'm sorry, I'm moving a little slow. I'm still packing my stuff out of here. This, that, and the third. So I was like, okay, now she taking the dorm room. I was like, how coincidental was that? So then we get the scene with Davis. He goes to the Zahadas. He tells Monet and them that he couldn't get none of the Mecca's assets for them because of the fact that Mecca was an informant, a high-level informant at that. So all his assets are like frozen. But he did manage to get the penthouse in Monet's name because because Mecca left the penthouse to Zeke. And since Zeke died, and he had no will, it automatically goes to his next living kin, who was his mother, who was Monet. So Monet, Monet, this whole episode, she just not feeling it. I'm just gonna say this from the bottom of my heart. I love Mary J. Blige. She's one of my favorite R&B singers. All my life, I've been singing her music. She cannot act. I'm so sorry. She cannot act to me. She just don't give enough emotion for me. This whole episode, she's supposed to have been sad about her losing Zeke and feeling responsible, but it's just like all her facial expressions was the same to me. But anyway, she going off on David. She like, you need to be trying to find out who did it, who killed Zeke. Da-da-da-da. Meanwhile, Lorenzo just standing right there looking hella guilty. I don't know how nobody don't see it. They supposed to be such good readers of people. He's sitting there looking hella guilty. And I'm just like... And then Monet going off on Lorenzo talking about, you need to be trying to go out there and find out who killed Zeke. And Lorenzo like, I'm out here. I'm trying to find out. Knowing that he ain't, because we all know that Lorenzo was the one that did it. So Lorenzo was like, what you gonna do with that penthouse? Because I'm not staying in that nigga house. Monet ended up giving the penthouse to Kane and Drew. They was geeked up. He was like, y'all can have the penthouse. She was like, y'all can have the penthouse until I figure out something to do with it. Or until I sell it or something. So then we get the same, Braden, he got kicked out of, well, he didn't get kicked out of, did he get kicked out of Stansfield? I don't know if he got kicked out or if his parents pulled him out of school after that trial and after him going on the stand and saying that he was the one that was selling drugs on campus through the Course Correct app. So his father, now that he's out of Stansfield, his father done made him come and work for the family business. And of course, Braden ain't feeling that, of course. And he kind of being a smart aleck about it. I can't say, I don't know if I can say ASS, but he's saying smart stuff. His brother Trace coming out. He was like, when Braden was like, you should be like, you need to shut up because I did this to save your life. Because if you'd have went on the stand, that Tahada would have definitely killed you, Trace. So he did you a solid. And now it got him looking like he done snitched out himself. And it implicated somebody else. We're gonna get to that later. But his father ends up leaving. Braden's father ends up leaving him with his brother, who I guess runs the company too, who is Braden's uncle. I guess so I guess Braden got to shadow his uncle. And his uncle seemed like a cool dude. He was like, don't tell nobody I told you this, but Course Correct was genius. But you going on the stand and saying that it was yours was dummy. So he basically telling Braden like, you got the skills what it takes to be in sales and like get stuff done. And Braden telling them basically like, I get a rush from doing stuff like this because I'm so good at it and stuff like that. So Braden's uncle has like this assistant, her name Kiki, she black, and you could tell Braden kind of feeling her. So that's probably gonna come back into play. Where we at now? So then we get Diana. I don't like Diana. I don't care. Sue me. I don't care. At me, whatever. I don't like Diana. She's so annoying to me because in a way, and when she found out, because I'm pretty sure Diana don't know that Lorenzo killed Zeke. But if Diana would have never looked in that bag on the last episode, they told her not to look in that bag. If she would have not looked in that bag and found out that Mecca was an informant and told Lorenzo, no, not informant. No, she looked in the bag and found out that Mecca had accounts, money accounts or something, put in all their names except for Lorenzo. So Lorenzo low-key thought that maybe they was gonna leave without him or like set him up to get killed, things like that, which caused Lorenzo to go to the hangar and shoot Zeke, which I felt like was such a stupid scene because I was just like, Zeke and Mecca got totally different builds. Like, I don't care how far you are, like, you should have known that wasn't Mecca. And then, like, the plan was in motion, so why would you think that Mecca was getting on the hangar? I don't know. That whole scene was just weird to me last episode. I don't know. But anyway, I went all the way off track. But Diana, she get on my nerves because she looked in the bag, and that's what got Zeke killed to me, in my opinion. But anyway, we get Diana trying to comfort Monet, giving her some food. Monet like, I don't want that. Basically, she's still mad at Diana for even like bringing to light that Zeke is actually Monet's son and not her nephew. So she's still mad about that at Diana about that. So she ain't trying to hit nothing Diana got to say. Diana go back in the kitchen. She mad. Her father was like, look, I know I told you couldn't go to Stansfield, but I called some favors and you can still go there, room and board and all that. You just got to handle the rest. So I was like, that made me, I was kind of suspicious about that because I don't know. He didn't want her to go because Tariq was there. He didn't want her too involved because she had Tahada at that. And Zeke was going there. He didn't want all that. But now, it's like he wanted her to go there. And I'm confused about that. Because now, like, Tariq under hot water. So I'm like, is he sending her there to, like, keep tabs? I don't know. I felt like that was a sneaky move on Lorenzo's part. Because first you ain't wanted her to go to Stansfield. Now you all in on her going. So, anyway. So then we get to Dean of Stansfield. He having lunch with Rashad Tate's snake self. That nigga's a snake. So they having lunch. Tariq pop up. He like, dang, I ain't got my dorm yet. I literally like have nowhere to go cause Braden's sister is in his dorm now. So like I don't have nowhere to go at. So the dean like, to be honest with you, I don't know if I can really help you because like people in the school are talking about how they don't even feel comfortable with you being here, this, that, and the third. Tariq was like, but I'm innocent. I was proven innocent. I was proven not guilty. And the Dane was like, yeah, not guilty doesn't mean you not innocent. I mean, doesn't mean you innocent. This, that, something like that. So then Rashad steps in. He like, oh, this is a problem. Like, if you don't find like housing for this young black boy, I'm gonna make sure when I become what is he running for mayor? I'm gonna make sure when I become mayor that I mention how Stansville treats his young black students. Just that, like, basically, yeah, you know. And the dean, that put some fire up on him. He was like, I'm gonna see what I can do. But I'm gonna tell you now, Tariq, if you do one more thing, you out, basically. So the dean leave. So then Tariq like, so what you want? Because I know you ain't just do that out the kindness of your heart. So Rashad was like, don't worry about it. I'll be in touch. And that's why I said, this nigga is Rashad. He's so funny. I'm gonna be in touch. We all know what that means. He gonna want something to happen in there. Cause he's talking about something. I'm close in the election, but not too close. So that made me think like, what are you gonna want Tariq to try to like help with like fixing votes or something like that? Let me see where I'm at. Oh yeah, and then Rashad also tells Tariq, he like, look, but the dean does have a point. Like now they looking at you like you just thug that just beat a murder charge, this, that, and the third. You need to change the narrative about yourself. Because even if he gets you this dorm and you still going to school, they still looking at you away, basically. So like you need to change your character or like change the way you moving, basically. So then what's the gay son name? I don't even remember his name. Drew. So Drew and his little boyfriend, the one that played football for Stansfield. Do he play football? Yeah. He played football for Stansfield. So they show up to the penthouse. So remember Monet told Drew and Kane they could have the penthouse. Drew and his boyfriend, they show up to the penthouse. Kane having this big penthouse party. First, I thought from first looking at it, I thought Kane being plain old Kane, having a party, doing some reckless stuff. Whole time, they had a plug there. They was trying to find a new connect since Mecca died. They don't got no connect. So they thought, I'm going to get into it. So they looking for new plugs. Kane was like, this party ain't just a party. Like, we got a plug here. And the plug is none other than, I don't know his name, but he was the dude from The Wood. And that was my man. He was my favorite one on The Wood. He was like the main character, the one they put all the Or he was the main character in The Wood. He looked totally different now. He got way old or whatever. But he basically was like, he won his money up front, and he won 60% of the product profits or whatever. So Kane was like, you must think we stupid. You must think we rookies. Da, 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 da. He was like, look. He was like, I know I worked with your father, but I don't owe him nothing. He was basically just like, I'm gone, because if y'all don't got the product, y'all ain't gonna have no money anyway. And he was like, let me know when this penthouse up for sale. Basically trying to tell them they gonna be broke soon. Or basically like let him know what y'all gonna do about what's y'all answer, what y'all gonna come through with. So then, oh my God. I did not think this was gonna come into play, but I like that they did this. So we remember Stern had this dude that he was married to, divorced him and all that. Ain't leave him nothing. Little gay, little sugar baby. But he was also like in charge of one of Stern's companies or something like that. I don't remember. But he was the one that helped Tariq and Braden set up Course Correct. Get him the proper paperwork to make it look legit or whatever. So he comes and pops up on Tariq. Yeah, I heard Braden testified and said that he was the one that came up with Course Correct and implicated me in a way, da-da-da. But we all know that you was the one involved, and I can go and tell the police everything and all that. Unless you break me off some money, basically, because Stern left him with no money. And he gave him a week to give him the money, to come up with the money, whatever. So then Kane, Tariq, and Braden meet up. So Braden basically set up this meeting. They didn't know Tariq thought it was something else. I don't remember I don't remember how Braden set it up, but basically Braden set up this meeting. He wanted to keep Course Correct going. Kane like, y'all must think I'm stupid. Like, y'all is super hot out here. You just went on the stand and told them that it was an app for drug selling. Like, come on now. And Tariq was like, yeah, it is hot. And plus, Tariq, like, I'm not even trying to get into the game no more. I'm trying to get back to I'm trying to get back to trying to graduate so I can get this trust fund that my father, because Ghost left him the trust fund or whatever it was, but he can only get it if he graduated college. So Tariq trying to, like, focus back on that so he can get back to Tasha and his little sister. So Kane and Tariq really like, no, I'm not with it. And Kane was like, I would only be with it if Effie was involved. Because Effie down. Because, you know, Kane know that Effie came to him and told him that Lauren was hot. But, you know, Tariq don't know that. But Braden do. But, you know, Kane like, I'm only going to do it if Effie down. Yeah, so this whole conversation that they was having, apparently it happened at the penthouse. Yeah, apparently the whole conversation that Braden, Tariq, and Kane was having happened at the penthouse. So then these British people, these Black Britons, or I feel like her henchmen are African and she's British, because she definitely has a British accent. But I feel like her henchman has some type of African or maybe French. I don't know. But they show up at the penthouse. Guns all on them. All on Tariq, Braden, Kane. They tell him, get on the floor, get on your knees. You know, Kane, he hesitant at first. He like, nah, they make him get on his knees first. Then Braden and Tariq get on their knees. So then she pop up. Apparently, her name is Noma, and she was Mecca's soon-to-be fiance / and he was also her first lieutenant somehow, whatever. So she wants to know what happened to Mecca, and she want to know what's going on with his product, where his product at, where his money at, all that. So she, as we can see from the first scene of this episode, she don't play around. So she basically like, I want answers now. So they pull the hood off of some other girl that they bring in. I'm trying to think of who this girl was. I guess she worked with Mecca or worked around him or something like that. So she was like, she don't know what happened with Mecca. She found out he died at the same time. I mean, she found out everything she found out about Mecca's death is the same thing that Noma found out, basically. She telling her this. And Noma not trying to hear it. So Noma kills her. Shoots her dead, point blank, in the head. So Tariq, Brayden, and Kane, they still on their knees. You know, they just saw somebody get shot right in front of them, but, you know, they ain't really flinch, except for Brayden. He kind of... Brayden got to get more built for that life. He got to get more built for the life. But they like... Tariq was like, look, we don't know what happened to Mecca, but we can still get this money for you. We can still... No, Tariq was like, we don't know what happened with Mecca, but we hid the product, and we can still move it. We can take Mecca's place, basically. And she was like... Oh, Mecca had sources in the post, and Mecca had people in the police force and all this. Like, basically, Mecca was a big time informant, like we all knew. And she was like, "Can y'all deliver the same type of stuff that Mecca was delivering?" And Tariq, Brayden and Kane was like, "What you think we've been doing this whole time?" Like real cocky stuff. Like basically, like we could do it. The henchman was like, "You really not gonna fall for this, right?" They capping. They basically lying. So she was like, "Nah, I want to see how they can do." So she basically gave them 30 days and tell them 30 days. I want to see if y'all can deliver exactly how Mecca delivers, or y'all dead, basically. So Kane go back tell the Tejadas about Noma. Monet ain't trying to hear none of that. Like I said, Monet's supposed to be fake, trying to be down about Zeke the whole episode. Whatever. But Lorenzo was like, basically, let's kill her. And Kane was like, look, she ain't that type of, like, she thorough. Like, you can't just get to her like that. And Lorenzo was like, look, I'm not about to keep bowing down to everything you say, Kane. It's a little tiff. So Drew was like, all right, so how we about to do this and who's involved? Basically asking Kane, like, what's about to go down with this Noma chick? And Kane's telling Drew, like, we got to get Pops and Mom in play because this Noma chick not playing. She'll really kill us. So then Tariq, he goes to Davis and tells Davis about Noma. So he basically tells Davis, like, I'm about to be coming to you, woo woo, stuff about to be happening involving this chick, and telling her like, now we about to be working for her, me, Brayden, and Kane, and possibly the Tejadas, and now you, nigga. And Davis was like, oh yeah, you know I'm down. You know how you always bring the good cash flow in. So that's what Tariq was like. Oh nah, my brother, because she still want to know how that ring got in the auction, and I told you to move that ring discreetly, and you didn't. So I can still go back and tell her that you was the one that put it in the auction. And Davis was like, oh. So he was like, so ain't no money, nigga. Like, you, this blackmail, like, you, yeah, I got this on you. Or I can go and tell Noma what you did with that ring. And while Tariq and Davis is talking, Sax, you know, he sneakily, because you remember the season finale, Sax changed his mind. Now he working with the lawyer that lost to Tariq in the court case. They working together against Tariq. So he eavesdropping, trying to listen to what Davis and Tariq talking about. But it doesn't really they don't really show if he heard anything. But later on in the episode, they show he didn't hear anything. So then, how convenient, Diana ends up rooming with Brayden's sister. So Brayden was like, don't worry. Brayden's sister was like, don't worry, I'm not going to tell my parents that I'm rooming with a Tejada. Then she started laying down everything she know about her. Oh, you Zeke's cousin, I know. And Zeke, and your father was Lorenzo, and he went to jail for da da da. And I was like, oh Lord, she gonna be a problem. I should have brought some water up here. Anyway, but then Diana was like, oh, I know about you too. You Brayden's sister. You're Westbrook, whatever. You're Westbrook, and your brother snitched on the stand and said that he was running a drug operation. She was like, I see you too. She was like, Google is free too. I know about Google too. So then we get this classroom scene. They got a new professor because, you know, Carrie died. And the other professor guy that was getting too close, the one that Tariq killed, that was writing the book. Both of them dead. So we got a new professor, and we got the same like students or whatever. Light skinned Keisha's still there, and they talk about this subject, the characteristics of America. So they start talking about all types of stuff, like basically like how black people have to like be set at a different standard. Like light skinned Keisha's character was talking about how her name supposedly sounds like ghetto or whatever, so she gotta work harder in society to prove that she can be successful. There's things like that. So then somebody brings up Zeke. They was like, "What about Zeke? He was a basketball star, and then he got accused of murder or something like that. I can't remember. He got accused of murder, and this, that, and the third, and then he became a murder victim." And then they was talking about how is that just gonna be his narrative now that he's dead? Like, he just gonna be known for those things? And they was basically like, and the professor was basically like, well, we got to change the narrative about Zeke, basically. So that gave Diana the idea to do the little the Jersey memorial thing, Jersey dedication or something like that for Zeke. That's probably what prompted her to do that, which comes later in the episode, and probably prompted Tariq to do his little speech or whatever that comes later in the episode. So then we get this saying in the damn the Braden Westbrook, their family company or whatever. They're in the conference room. It's like 3 colleagues in there. They in there snorting coke, and Trace is in there, Braden's brother. So then Braden and the little black assistant girl Kiki, they come in there and catch them off guard. Trace was like, "I'm just here to check on Braden." And Kiki was like, "You need to clean that coke off your nose," talking to one of the colleagues that's in there. So what they get to talking about in there? Let me see. I'm totally off now. That's why I'm glad I got notes. They offer Braden some coke, by the way. They offered Braden some coke right there in the conference room. Braden was like, "Nah." They was like, "You gotta take it while you're working here. It keeps you on edge or whatever. I mean, keeps you on your feet and keeps you from moving." Whatever they said, trying to basically get him to take the coke. And Braden was like, "Nah." And one of the dudes was like, "Oh, I guess you can only sell it, huh?" So that's when Trace got up and was like, "Hey, don't be like basically big dogging him like this. Whatever he did, he's still a Weston or whatever his name is, Westbrook, and he still like this name still signs your check. So you better chill." Like basically humbling him, like telling him chill out. Braden like, "I don't need your help." So him and Braden start going into it, and then Kiki was like, "Let's chill. Y'all need to chill." So I was like, that little scene was funny though. They realized just offered them some coke in the conference room. I was like, okay. Like, they don't got cameras in it. That was weird. So Sebastian just on a blackmail spree, I guess, because he pop up on Braden at his father's company office, whatever, where Braden's working at. Pops up on him. He at his little cubicle. "We need to talk. We already know what that's about. Blackmailing Braden, just like he tried to do to Tariq." So then Kane, he put up on Effie, basically telling Effie, "Tariq ain't tell you we back in business." And Effie was like, "He would have told me. We don't lie to each other." Kane was like, "Oh, but so I guess you told him that you came and told me Lauren was a snitch." She got all quiet. So he basically told her that they was back in business. Effie wasn't really trying to hear whatever. And I low key feel like Kane want to hit Effie. Look at the way he was googly eyeing her. Like that was like some hey type stuff. Yep. I was just like, I feel like he wanted to smash Effie, and I feel like something might end up happening, a kiss or something maybe. I don't know. So then we get this scene with Davis talking to his brother's doctor, and his brother's doctor's basically telling him like, "Ain't nothing we can do for your brother's liver. The hepatitis B and C is like making his liver fail, and he can't get a donor because What they telling me can't get a donor for? I forgot why they told him he can't get a donor. But because Davis offered up his liver and he was like he can't deliver, he can't receive a donor. I can't remember why, but basically telling him he got like 6 months to a year to live. And Davis was like, it's something that you can do. Like, you got to find some way else to do. So the doctor mentions like this clinical trial, but the only way his brother could do it is if he wasn't locked up. So Davis was like, all right, no problem. Get the paperwork started. My brother about to be released in a little bit, in a quick minute. So get the paperwork started, basically. So then Davis calls Sachs. And Sachs is already with the damn lawyer. I don't remember her name, because I ain't watched this show in a minute, so I'm still trying to remember all their names or whatever. But the lawyer that lost the case to Tariq, the woman lawyer that lost the case to Tariq, that's also sleeping with Sachs. So she in there with Dave. I mean, she in the, I guess she at Sachs' apartment, and they going through Davis's files. So Davis calls Sachs, and he trying to figure out why my brother still ain't released yet. But mind you, Sachs don't know that this is Davis's brother. Sachs just think this is just some case that Davis is really trying to see through. So he's like, why is but I'm saying my brother because it's quicker to say. He's like, why my brother not out yet? And Sachs like, I'm still working on it. And basically Davis like, work harder. And then he also throw in there real quick like, oh yeah, and find out. Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, back to when Tariq came and told Davis about Noma. He also mentioned that they must have been surveilling the warehouse, Noma and them, to even find out that Kane and them was in there. And they also found out that the cop that, well, I'll get to that part. But yeah, that's what Tariq told Davis too, to check out who was watching the warehouse. Because he thought it was Noma and them, but it wasn't Noma and them. So, when, damn, I had to go all the way back to that, yeah. Yeah, so Tariq told Davis that. So also when Davis called Sachs and told him to work harder to get his brother out, he told Sachs, all right, look into just so nonchalantly though, look into who was surveilling Dante's penthouse. And Sachs was like, okay. He was like, why? But he was like, and Davis was as vague as possible. He was just like, just do it. So then he get off the phone with Sachs. Sachs telling the girl what's going on, the lawyer girl, what was on the, well, he didn't tell her what was going on the phone. She wanted to know why Davis was so interested in his brother's case, but they don't know it's his brother. So Sachs was like, I don't know, but, so the lawyer girl was like, well, you need to find out because this might be connected, but it's not. So then he asks her, can you figure out if who was surveilling Dante's penthouse? Because first Sachs asked her. I'm so high, but anyway. First Sachs asked her, was she surveilling Dante's penthouse? And she was like, no. And he was like, can you find out for me? And they're both not really trusting each other. And she's like, are you really on my side? And he's like, yeah, I'm risking my lawyer's license to be working with you. I'm risking my law license being with you, working with you and doing this. So he like, just try to ask around on your end about Dante's penthouse or whatever, so vaguely as possible, as he tells her that. Let me see where I am. And my mouth is so dry. Okay, so this part was funny to me. Brayden goes to Kane, talking about some Sebastian came to me. Because first of all, Kane already knew who Sebastian was. Brayden was surprised. He was like, you don't think the Tejadas do they you don't think they do their research basically? So he goes to Kane trying to ask Kane to kill Sebastian for him. He told him, I killed Lauren for you. So Brayden basically thinks that he killed Lauren. He says that he kills Lauren. We'll get to that. He says that he kills Lauren. I killed Lauren for you. Kane was like, you ain't do that for me. You did that for you too, because you was on that tape too. So he was like, if I do this, you coming with me. Cause you need to learn, like, you gotta handle stuff like this. Like, when the bad stuff happens, you gotta handle it. You can't just be pussy, basically. hmm So now, Tariq goes to Sebastian, and I feel like this little offer that he gives Sebastian, I was like, what's this saying about the entail? I feel like Tariq already had his mind thought out. He ain't know what and how he was gonna do it, but anyway, Tariq goes to Sebastian and basically offers him this job, like basically to like clean his money, because he was like, I'm about to be in business again with some other people, and I'm gonna need you to clean the money. Something about a sweat equity. I don't know nothing about numbers, so that's all I'm gonna say about that part. So Braden and Kane, they outside of Sebastian's building apparently, or wherever Sebastian's staying. And by the way, when Tariq went to go see Sebastian, he was like, as he came in, he was like, I see, even though Stern cut you off, you still living nice. But anyway, Braden and Kane, they outside of wherever Sebastian's staying at. So then Kane tells Braden, you killing Sebastian. I'm not doing it. Like, you doing it. Braden was like, nah, I thought we talked about this. And Kane was like, nah, you doing it. You gotta handle your own business. Like, I know Lauren was your friend, but this your enemy, so it should be easier for you to do it, basically. So then we back in Sebastian and Tariq. We back in Sebastian's wherever he's staying at, and Tariq's still there, trying to offer him this deal. Sebastian ain't trying to hear it. Sebastian like, no, basically comparing him to his father. And then all of a sudden Tariq stand up, he get defensive because, you know, he don't like when people compare him to Ghost. So he like, I'm nothing like my father. Da, 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 da. So Sebastian was like, you just like him. You might not wear a suit. You might be wearing this college hoodie, but you just like him. Basically gets Tariq riled up. Tariq grabbed one of the little steak knives or something off the table and stabbed Sebastian with it. And the scene was, it was just so little mediocre. It was funny though. He stabs Sebastian. Sebastian falls on the floor. He dies, and Tariq standing over him with the bloody knife in his hand. Braden and Kane, they bust in, they catch him. And they was like, dang, we gotta figure out a way to move his body. And then Kane was like, nah, we gotta make sure ain't nobody looking for him first. So that's when Tariq was like, ain't nobody looking for him because they said that he took some of Stern's assets or something and fled the country or something. So they think he went MIA. So Kane was like, all right, bet, let's move the body or whatever. So they take care of that. So then we get this scene. Because I remember at the end of season 2, the season 2 finale, Blanca pops back in the picture. And I was like, oh my God. Blanca has a super hard-on for these St. Patricks. She do not like them. She do not like them. She wants to get them all, honey. She wants to get them all. But anyway, we the scene with the lawyer that lost to Tariq in the case with Davis and them. I gotta learn her name, so I won't have to keep saying that. But she in her office and she looking through the Tariq's case, trying to figure out something that can stick. Blanca busts up in there. Why you trying to look into who's surveilling Dante's penthouse? So that's when she was like, who are you? So that's when they started telling. She was like, oh, I know who you are. You're the lawyer that got her ass handed to her by Tariq St. Patrick. And she was like, and I know who you are. You prosecuted, you prosecuted the whole St. Patrick family, basically. They basically getting the feel for who each other is. So they start putting all types of pieces together. So the lawyer that lost to Tariq, she telling her how she think that the Tejadas are connected with Dante and Tariq, and Davis is involved and all this. Tells her she got a CI that's in play with the whole thing. And then Blanca tells her that that Tariq was at the penthouse when Dante died. So they putting a whole bunch of pieces together or whatever. I just thought that the fact that she told Blanca that Sax was her CI was funny as hell to me because I was like, is he though? Like, he not really your CI. Like, I don't know what to call it. I don't know. I mean, well, I guess. But that was just a weird way to put it because like you also sleeping with him, so and y'all kind of. Well, I don't want to say they're getting serious, but I was just like to call him your CI was weird. But so they talk about like putting this. So the lawyer that lost to Tariq, she like telling Blanca like, you think you got a big enough pull to get a joint task force together to charge them on some RICO charges or whatever? Because she already done lost to Tariq in a murder charge, so they're like trying to get a joint task force together to do RICO charges or whatever. So Blanca like, I probably can do that, basically. So we know this. These two women about to get together and they about to try to take them all down. They about to try to take them all down. And then Blanca was like, do you really have a CI in play? And she was like, yeah. So now that's why I feel like her saying the CI was a real, that she shouldn't have said that. That was a push. You shouldn't have said that. Because now she counting on you to have that CI. And like Sax is not really, I don't want to say he's a CI. To me, he not. I don't know. So then we get this little scene with Tariq and Effie. They in the dorm room. And Effie, she like, you really think if you speak at Zeke's jersey dedication thing, you think that's a good idea after what you just been through, whatever? He was telling her like, nah, like, yeah, I think it's a good idea because I need to change the narrative about him, and in a way, Tariq will be changing the narrative about himself because remember Tate told him he need to change the narrative about himself or whatever. So then Effie like, it was so nice of Diana to put this together. Is that where you were earlier? You were with her? I was like, here we go. You supposed to be the little boss the down chick one, but here you go with the BS. So he was like, nah, I was with Braden. We was handling business. So Effie was like, all right, so like, what's the business? Like, we got a new connect. What's going on? So Tariq like, trying to like basically not trying to tell her, like, I don't really want you involved because everybody that's around me, they die or whatever. So she started getting in defense. She like, I'm not Lauren, I'm not weak, da da da. And plus Lauren was an accident. So they started going back and forth. But then they started to calm down. They started to make up or whatever. And then he was like, let me see. Yeah, she was like, I'm not weak like Lauren or whatever. It's like tell me stuff. Like, I want to be involved. Like, I can move. I can move the weight. You know how I move. I make money, whatever. I want to get to this money. So basically, Tariq gives in. And apparently, he probably tells her what's going on, but they don't really show that part because it didn't really need to be there. I'm so high. It ain't really need to be there. But he tells her what's going on, but they don't show it. But he obviously tells her because they at the warehouse later on in the episode, whatever. So then we get to this little scene, short scene. Apparently, Tariq's new professor has some old relationship that they don't really mention of with Rashad Tate. They stop and they have a little chat. And it's low-key flirty, but it's not too much, but it's low-key flirty. And it's crazy because Rashad had this woman on his arm. and Tariq's professor was like, you look gorgeous in that dress. And Rashad was like, yes, gorgeous. But as he said it, he looked at the professor saying it in a way. And it was just like, that was flirty. So I was like, okay, that's gonna come back into play in one of these episodes later on in the season. So then we get to Zeke's jersey dedication. So Lorenzo, he talking to Diana. I'm so proud of you to put all this together. How's it going here? Like, basically, little chat up. So then Diana, she goes and sits by Braden's sister. Ironically, because I thought they wasn't going to get along from the first impression that they had in the dorm room. But they go sit beside each other. And then the new professor, Tariq's and them new professor, she has like this TA. And I guess he's like, gonna be in the classrooms and stuff. He had like some opinions when they had the little classroom scene. So, and he's black. So he comes over and he said something like, you're supposed to cry at these things after. And Braden's sister was like, you insensitive jerk. Well, she didn't say that, but she was like, you insensitive jerk. That was her cousin. So he was like, oh, I apologize, queen. And then he was like, can I sit over here, basically? So she lets him sit down. And it was weird because Braden's sister and Diana was sitting side by side. And Braden's sister got up so the TA could sit in between them. And I was like, that was weird. If anything, Braden's sister should have just moved down, and then Diana could have moved down, and then the TA could have sat at the end. But I don't know. I be thinking about stuff like that, but it was weird. But they sit there and they have a little flirtatious moment, fake flirtatious moment, because he was like, you know, you too beautiful to be crying like that, or something like that. And she was like, you got to work on your game if you're gonna be sitting beside me or whatever. So I was like, whatever. So then we get Lil Mo cameo. She came out there, did the daggone thing. I forgot what she sang. Did she sing It So Hard to Say Goodbye yesterday? I don't remember. But I feel like she did. But she did the daggone thing. They bring the jersey out. They give it to Monet. The jersey falls down. They do the jersey drop thing in the court. I mean, what is it? In the gym. They do the jersey fall thing in the gym. And Monet get all fake emotional, whatever. She run out. She storm out with the jersey. And she having a little breakdown in the corner with the jersey, crying. Start having all these memories of Zeke, this, that, and the third. It's supposed to be super emotional, but I just don't feel it. Don't feel it. So then Tariq, he gives this speech. Basically talking about basically trying to change the narrative about Zeke, like they was talking about in the classroom. And like he was talking about with Effie. And as he's saying that, somebody yells out, what they yell out? You did the same thing or something like that. Like you was charged with murder and you was found not guilty too, something like that. And that's when Tariq was like, I'm innocent. And he started having he had this pause and started flashing of all the people he done killed or got killed or stuff like that. So he gave that speech. And as he gave the speech, he was like, Zeke was killed by a coward because he shot him in the back. Lorenzo was in the crowd like. I was just like, when is they gonna get this? When is they gonna find out about this nigga? Like, his character to me is just like, I feel like he was just somebody that they just threw there, like there. I don't know. But then the ceremony ends after Tariq's speech. And then Tariq goes and tries to like calm down Monet because Monet's still in the corner. It's supposed to be fake emotional. And Monet was like, Lorenzo said he had people or he had things he was trying to find out about Zeke's death, but I don't feel like he moving fast enough. And Tariq was like, look, I'm gonna try to find out some stuff for you. She was like, I feel like you're the only one I can trust because you was the only one that was with me when Zeke died. So we get that little part, and as they talking, Lorenzo walking past again. Oh, snap. I'm like, get this nigga. Oh, so I didn't mention this. So when Blanca and the lawyer that lost to Tariq was having a whole discussion about things, Blanca showed the lawyer that lost to Tariq a picture of the cop who was in charge of Carrie's suicide case, who was super like intent on trying to find out how the other professor died, and he was even bagging on Carrie at the time. And then Carrie died, and he used to date Carrie, and then Carrie died, and he was super hard on trying to find out if her death was a suicide or not. And he was like, was he one of the last people to speak to Zeke before he died? Probably so, yeah. So he ended up being one of the people that was surveilling, because I still think Noma's people was probably surveilling Dante's penthouse too. I don't put that past them. Because how did they find Kane and them there that day? But then again, Kane had that big stupid party, so anyway. But dang, I just lost my train of thought. Where was I? Yeah, so the cop that was in charge of Carrie's suicide case, he was the one ended up surveilling Dante's penthouse, and they had surveillance photos of him. And that's what Blanca showed to the lawyer that lost to Tariq when they had their little meetup. So the lawyer that lost to Tariq, she confronts the daggone cop that and apparently the lawyer that or is she a D? I might be wrong. She might not even be a lawyer. She is, or is she a DEA? I don't know what her position is. Is she DEA? Maybe, I don't know. But she seemed to have more authority over the cop that's in charge of Carrie's case. She confronts him about why is he surveilling Dante's penthouse. And he's like, all of this is connected to Carrie's suicide, fake suicide. Like, we know that wasn't a suicide, and we know Lauren didn't die by a fake car accident. And she was telling him, Lauren did die in a car accident. Carrie's death was a suicide, and this, that, and the third, and you need to stay out of it. And he was like, I'm telling you, Monet Tejada is behind all of this. And she was like, tell me right now you're not going to go and pursue Monet Tejada. Like, leave it alone, basically. Telling him, like, and apparently he's, like, listening, because that's why I'm like, does she have more authority over him? Look, some of the bits and pieces I don't be really having there. Anyway. So then we get to this scene. Braden, Tariq, and Effie, they meet up with Noma's little henchman or whatever to get the product. And the product happens to be like an entire warehouse. It's like an entire warehouse of product. So they just like in shock. And then Kane pop up out of nowhere. But right before that, Effie was like, you sure we should be bringing the Tejadas into this? And Tariq was like, yeah, because like Noma basically told Kane's involved in this too. So like basically they got to be involved. So Kane pop up out of nowhere. They looking around this warehouse like, oh my God, like, how are we going to move all this? How are we going to move all this product? So they got to wrap their minds around that. So then we get to the last scene. And I was just like, I didn't know what to think about this last scene. So the lawyer that lost to Tariq, I'm going to learn her name next episode, so I won't have to keep saying that. The lawyer that lost to Tariq, apparently she has Lauren in hiding somewhere. So Lauren didn't die. Lauren is still very much alive. She goes to this house somewhere in West Bubba. We don't know. Lauren's like, how long do I have to stay here? I'm tired of hiding. So I'm like, oh, wow, Lauren's not alive. I mean, Lauren's not dead. What a big surprise. I kind of felt Lauren wasn't dead the whole time because they never said anything. Like, Effie came home Effie came and got in bed with Tariq that night, looking all nervous. And then Braden said, I killed Lauren for you. I was just like, it's not believable. I don't know. So I kind of didn't feel like Lauren was dead at all. But in a way, I did, because the lawyer that lost to Tariq was saying something about how the parents thought she was out on a trip or something like that. I don't know. But I was like, until I see a body, I didn't really think Lauren was dead anyway. But yeah, Lauren's alive, everybody. But yeah, like I said, I would grade this episode at A+. I would definitely give it an A+. Because it left us right back off from where we was at. It put a new person into play. Now we got Noma in play. So I'm wondering how that's going to play out. And she seems savage, so they want her character to seem savage. Predictions for the next episode or episodes to come. Let me think. Any predictions? I definitely think that Braden is going to somehow start selling to them dudes that's working at his father's firm. Because they was in there doing coke and they offered him some. He was like, nah. And they probably going to end up selling them some. I mean, Braden probably going to end up selling to him. I still think Effie's sneaky. I never trusted Effie. Ever since she snitched on Tariq back in Cho, I didn't trust her. So I still don't trust Effie. And now Kane all on her line. So I think something's gonna happen there. Sax, Snake, Self. You know something's gonna happen with Sax and all that. And then Blanca and this lawyer that lost to Tariq. That task force about to come together. It's about to be some stuff. It's about to be some crazy stuff. How they gonna move all that product? I can't wait to see that. But yeah, thanks for kicking it with me. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I'm super high, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, though. Please like this video. Please share this video. Subscribe to my channel because I review other shows too. I review Snowfall. I review SWV and Escape, the Queens of R&B, and I review Bel Air. So if you subscribe to my channel, you can see those other videos that I review. And yeah, thanks again for watching. Peace.